Fall 1963. Months of planning had gone into the first show at Roby Auditorium, and then it happened.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The assassination of John F. Kennedy brought the country to a standstill. It was supposed to be opening night for Little Theater's first play, ironically entitled, You Can't Take It With You. Would it be right to go ahead? Would anyone attend? Would Little Theater fold on opening night? Director Betty Haberstick and the troupe made the decision. Maybe this is just the diversion people needed, a chance to take a collective breath.
There's an old adage that is so true, the show must go on.
Betty's husband, Bud, took a wooden stool to the front of the grand curtain, sat down, and explained why they chose to go ahead. The president had been a fan of theater, and the performance would be a dedication of sorts. The show, a success, followed by 2 more productions that season and 3 more the next year. Season 3, bringing the first musical, South Pacific.
Betty had, done traveling from community to community to put on shows, and had experience with community theater work. And Bud, always did the set construction with a bunch of his friends. And I think at the very beginning, it was a community theater, and they involved everybody they could think of to be in the place, from the mayor down to whatever level, and you got a cross-section of the whole community.
Betty was a woman that knew exactly what she wanted to be done, and how she had it pictured in her head before she started. So when she started with the casting, Betty knew exactly what she was looking for, and she had that vision in her head, and everything worked toward that vision. And she let you know as a cast what your role in that vision was, and she kept to it pretty strictly. She didn't have a lot of leeway, but she knew what she was talking about, and she usually made a good show. I worked under Connie Lamans, and who had been a lot of assistant directors with Betty in later years when Connie did more directing, and she was not quite to that extreme as Betty. She had learned under Betty, but she had a little bit more leeway in there.
Bloody Mary is the girl I love. Bloody Mary is the girl I love. Now ain't that too damn bad? Her skin is tender as Jim Angel's love. Her skin is tender as Jim Angel's love. Her skin is tender as Jim Angel's love. Now ain't that too damn bad?
Hello, G.I. Grand skirt, very sexy. Hold on. Very sexy grand skirt for $1. City of Chicago. You like, you buy, when you go. Come back. Cheapskate, fat sack, ruby drawer. Come in, G.I.
Tell him good, Mary.
What is good?
Tell him he's a stingy bastard.
Stingy bastard. Is that good?
That's good.
Stingy bastard.
The audience was a diverse mix, and one night even included a talent scout.
I don't know how he got there, but he got there, and asked me to come. They were doing a world premiere opera, Rachel, and about Rachel Jackson, and he asked me to audition, and I did, and I landed the role of Rachel Jackson's husband.
And this is how things happen sometimes, isn't it, Nellie?
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger, you may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you know even then, that's the way you see her again and again. enchanted evening. Someone may be laughing, you may hear her laughing across a crowded room, and somehow you know, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams.
There was remarkable talent behind the curtain, too. Sets, makeup, props, lighting, sound, costumes, all bringing new life to Roby Haberstick Auditorium.
Judith Plucker, a local artist who came to Greeneville from another part of the country, was so instrumental in the redesign and implementation of that design of the Roby Auditorium. She had a passion for theater. Her children were involved in the stage plays. And of course, Judith's talent shone through in the redevelopment of that space.
We are about to begin our journey by road. My route.
Civics!
My wife.
Playgoers, I bid you welcome. The theater is a temple. We are here to worship the gods of comedy and tragedy. This afternoon I am pleased to announce a comedy, and we will employ every device we know in our desire to divert you. Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone to comment tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone to comment tonight.
The years brought new shows, a few old ones brought back to life, and many new faces of all ages taking part in Greeneville's Little Theater.
Yes, Mary Alice Dillard took me to see my very first live production at Little Theater. Her husband was in 1776, and she had asked my mom to make the costume for him, and her son Peter was also enthralled with it, and Mary Alice had her make a matching costume for Peter. And Mary Alice asked if I had ever seen a live theatrical production, and I said no, so she took me down there to see it, and I was just blown away.
I was new to Greeneville, and a young mom had a friend who had decided that she wanted to audition for a play. And I thought, well, she asked me to go along and support her. Well, I've always loved theater, had done some in high school, but nothing since then, and was a little more self-conscious. And so I sat in and I watched her audition. I watched everybody audition, and I looked around and I went, I don't know a single soul in this room. If I get up there and look stupid, no one will know who I am. And so I was like, I'm doing this. And I got up there, and it was for Harvey, and Connie Lemons was the director.
In 2002, Little Theater moved to the Capitol Theater. That would be its new home for its final 6 years.
I just think it was a great time. There were some great shows that were put on stage there. Unfortunately, I'm not sure of all the details of why things didn't work. There, it added a lot of new dimensions to more than just, putting on a really awesome production. And so I think trying to deal with all of that on top of, putting on a really good production stretched a lot of people. But there were still, we did Steel Magnolias, Lil Abner. I was part of a couple of those. Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, just still some excellent stuff. And with Youth Builders, put on a lot of school productions. So it's still some really good times and good memories at the Capitol as well with the Little Theater.
And when we say, yeah, we're gonna say, you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
For 45 years, Little Theater happened because of the people, from those selling tickets out front to the musicians and the actors in public view to the unsung heroes behind the scenes, and the audiences. Today, Greeneville Theater Guild is creating a new version of what Little Theater started on that fateful day in 1963. The Greeneville Greene County History Museum hopes you enjoy this bit of Greeneville history on exhibit now.